Hello, and welcome to Ramble, the show where I decide to string random words together until they form a coherent sentence. Today we're going to be trying to form more coherent sentences. So I would like to start doing this when this gets enough views. If people could comment down below suggestions or topics for me to talk about, it could be anything, like what my favorite color is, or type one word, type an entire paragraph that you want me to answer. Alex, I'd like you to put in something like type in suggestions at the beginning of every video so I don't need to say this 500 times. Just kind of make that like a normal thing. So it's almost summer break, and that's really cool. But what I'm thinking about is what I find really weird is that the seasons, they start 21st for winter in December, then I believe it's some month. But you know what I'm trying to say there, they start there, but I like how our year starts in the middle of winter. January 1st is not at the beginning of any season, no season starts before then. It's at the beginning, it's in the middle of winter, and I kind of find that weird how that works. And why did we say that January 1st of all days? You know why? That's kind of weird. I really want to know, what the first actual day that Earth began. Knowing, or, I don't think it was January 1st, knowing our luck at, the Earth started on, Friday the 13th or something. I don't know, but it's kind of weird how, that works. But I also kind of find it weird is everyone always argues over what is the start of the week. Is it Monday or is it Sunday? Personally, I was always taught it was Sunday, so I always think that Sunday is the beginning of the week, and it kind of just feels right. And again, I don't know, I might get, flamed for that. Oh, you're so dumb. It's an endless loop anyway. There is no start and beginning to a circle. It's all objective. That's kind of weird, how it's kind of odd. Sorry, I gotta stop saying weird. You know what? I'm just gonna get it all out right now. Weird, 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 weird. Anyway, it's kind of something, right? It's something where how we loop around always to January 1st over and over again, but still our life is progressing forward. But still, it's we're going in a circle. Even with the days of the weeks, it never changes. The numbers change, and then they reset back to the first after every 30 times. And it's kind of, you think about that, it's just we are always in this loop, even though we're progressing forward. The only number that's really ticking up is the years until it ticks back, until it goes back to a new millennia. Kind of we live lives in loops, even though we're going forward. I feel like that's the same for a lot of people, is that we always get stuck in a loop. And again, what do I know? I mean, patterns is people like patterns. Brains like patterns, I guess. I'm again, psychologist. I went back at it again, going over why people think things. But am I incorrect? Because I know that a lot of people like their own thing. Actually, there was a study done. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on this. But I believe that I know I do this all the time. But once I sit in a chair in a random auditorium, that chair is forever my chair. I will not give it up for anything. That's where I sit, and that's how it starts. It's like a pattern. But then again, patterns can be good, like sleep schedules. I wake up at 6:30 every day, and I wake up early. Don't judge me, okay? Do judge me. But I wouldn't judge me. Yeah, don't judge yourself. Actually, do judge yourself. You should be the only person who does judge yourself. That's actually a lie. Actually, on that note, people are going to judge you. That's how that works. People are going to have opinions on you. You're going to have opinions on other people. That's the way the world works. Really, you gotta know what opinions to pay attention to. If that makes any sense. If somebody's saying that, yo, you're being really rude right now. You're not being super nice. Think about it. Are you being nice? Are you being a butthole? And if you're being a butthole, recognize that you're being a butthole and change it. But if someone's like, yo, you look like a trash can that smells like farts, who cares? They're gonna have their opinions, or who knows, people might say that I'm annoying. And I guess I'm proving their point by literally talking for 6 minutes straight. for a video, so maybe they're not wrong there. Uh, I got a lot to say, but moral of the story here is if somebody judges you, judge them back because they deserve it. That's kind of really it. But just like keep people's opinions in mind. Be open-minded. Like figure out where you are wrong and figure out where somebody else is wrong. Like that's the key to debates, actually. And things. How to win an argument is always assume you're right. Do you know how you learn from a debate? Assume that you guys are both wrong. By that I mean, like assume that you are fundamentally wrong in your point, but so is your opponent. And don't even think of them as an opponent, because that's not really what you want. Really, if you want to learn from somebody, you gotta listen and you gotta like think about it and like use logic, use your brain. I know it's hard, but do it. Uh, so pausing, stalling. I believe that we got this here again. Wow, we're at our 6 minute mark already. Well, 7 minutes now, probably six after. Well, if you're still here, please comment down vegetable sandwich. I don't know. And if you aren't still here, then, well, it doesn't matter because you're not here. Awkward. So, I know this is a beautiful day outside, actually. That it's funny because I guess Wisconsin doesn't have seasons. Wisconsin's like, actually, yeah, going back to the seasons, Wisconsin, like, is on my agreement. Like, seasons are pointless. Who needs them? A little bit of snow here, a little bit of winter here, a little bit of springtime right there. Then we go into the thing, and I'm feeling like on the menu we gotta have a little bit of fall, a little bit of autumn, and then let it snow in October, which is a thing that's happened more than once, I believe. Wisconsin is just like global warming doesn't exist. I exist, and I don't care. It's kind of funny. Like half the time in April it's still snowing, and then May it decides to rain, and then be sunny, and then rain again, every like on and off every 5 seconds. We are the most bipolar state in the country. That way, I believe. Speaking of Wisconsin, Wisconsin's a strange state. At least to me, I feel sometimes. Like I'm told that from people who are out of state I'm that I have an accent. And I'm like, what now? I don't have no dilly don accent. Okay, that's not funny. Yeah, it is. Stop on. No, you stop. Yes, I'm having a conversation with myself. That's the entire premise of the show. Okay, don't judge me. But like I'm told that I have a bit of a Wisconsin accent, and I'm thinking more so like, yeah, I say bubbler. I say I know how to pronounce our city's names. um, I know all that stuff, but then I'm like thinking, and I came up with sort of a joke to myself. I'm like, a Canadian accent is like, you know what a Canadian accent is, but like, Michigan is kind of like a mini Canadian accent, and then a Wisconsin accent is kind of like a Michigan accent, but condensed. So basically, just like goes down the more south you go. Like a weird, it's like a dialect. Dialects are interesting because people talk different depending on how you were raised to be different, raised to talk. And that's how that works, really. And everyone's like, right. And that's, again, goes back to like kind of what I'm saying is that we are modeled after other people. Because even in the way we talk, we learned from our parents and from other people around us how to speak. And like, so our speaking patterns and our vernacular is kind of made after those people that we learned from. And again, that's just old tangents should die on. No, they shouldn't, okay? I will bring back old tangents if I want to. Now I'm going to go on a tangent about how tangents work. Because you know what? We're at 11 minutes, and that's what we're doing right now. We're going on a tangent about tangents. So you have, like, how I do tangents right now is I basically think about what I'm saying and then I say it. Really, that's how it works. Is that if something interesting pops up, I just keep rambling, I keep talking, I keep saying words until I'm like, ooh, this is a cool thing. Let's talk about that. Maybe it will be interesting. And then I realize halfway through it that I have no idea how to say what I want to say. But I can't really stop it. So I just kind of go with it, you know? Good times, good lovely times. But you know what? Sometimes you get the most interesting thoughts just by running with it. Sometimes you get the best things by running with like your gut and just going for it. I mean, I'm recording this a day after I recorded episode 1 because like this is surprisingly therapeutic and actually kind of fun to do. A lot of views and stuff on it yet. And who knows, maybe I won't get any views, maybe I will. Doesn't matter to me. But I'm thinking like, why should I make my time and do this if it's not gonna be seen? Well, really, it's because I like it. So I'm just gonna do it because I enjoy it. I enjoy talking to myself, I guess. Was probably the most depressing thing I've ever said. Wow. You know what? I'm gonna own it. I enjoy talking to myself. If you enjoy talking to yourself, then comment down below. And if you don't enjoy talking to yourself, then subscribe. And if you do enjoy talking to yourself, please subscribe again. And just, you know, gotta like plug it in. Please subscribe. I'm lonely and I need friends. It's whatever. Wow, I sound so angsty right now. Maybe it's because you are angsty. Maybe it's because you gotta shut up, Other Owen. Other Owen. Sorry, Alex, for the silence. You can cut this out. So, if you can't tell, I'm a theater kid. And I love listening to musicals. I love doing theater. I actually have a sweatshirt that says "Acting is Life." I actually, my parents got me that for Christmas. It's custom, really. It's just on the back because one time I said that because of I had to do driver's ed and I might have had to miss a show. Ironically, we ended up missing the show anyway because it was in the springtime, and well, we all know how that went. That's yeah, but that's ridiculous. But I was like, acting is life. Like really, I once said like I would seriously consider like skipping a trip to Mexico to be in a show. That's how much I love it. And like really, you gotta find something that you love and enjoy doing. Otherwise, like what are you doing with your life? You know, if you're not enjoying it, then you should probably find something that's good. And if like you'll look and you'll find it eventually. You just gotta keep looking. You know, gotta keep searching, and eventually you'll find what you really like. For me, it's acting. For me, it's music, rap. But for other people, maybe it's art. Maybe you are wanting to make the like coolest cake in the world. I don't know. I like cake. My favorite cake is chocolate with white frosting. No, actually red velvet. Although red velvet is actually chocolate with that. One time my sister made me purple velvet cake with this frosting to die for. It was really good. Like it was for my birthday. That was a fun birthday actually. That was my forensics meet birthday. Um, that was the meet where I had a forensics. I mean, my birthday when I had a forensics meet. So I get home and I open my door and to my room, and there's just purple and gold balloons everywhere. It was awesome. Actually, I'm pretty sure I still have my one purple balloon that survived 2 years, and it's kind of ridiculous, honestly. Kind of ridiculous that I still have that balloon, but yeah, no, I don't want to pop it. Balloons need to not die in horrible ways. You should not kill your balloons, because if you kill a balloon, then it will not be able to live anymore. Thanks, Owen, for that stunning display of logic. If you kill something, it won't be able to live anymore. Give me a round of applause at home. Yeah. What am I doing here? Why am I doing here? uh, you know what? We're having fun. We're having a good time here, right? No, just me? Well, that's fine too. I mean, that's life, really. Is that things. That birthday party was awesome. I played Risk. That was a fun birthday. Yeah, I love Risk. I mean the board game Risk. I'm not actually that big of a risk taker in real life. I mean, debatably. Sometimes I take risks. Depends. I take calculated risks. However, this game of Risk was the worst game I've ever played because I tried to roll the dice. And unfortunately for me, dice hate me. This always happens. I never win games because I always roll exactly what I don't need to roll. Like I'm the unluckiest person when it comes to dice. Never take me to Vegas. Cards I'm slightly better at cards. Like I mean, for some reason, like dice just like they look at me and they're like, nah, this guy's. I'm not gonna give him what he wants because then he could get what he wants, and that's not what we want to do. And I'm like, come on, Dice. And then they're like, why are you talking to me? That's kind of weird. And I'm like, well, why are you talking back to me, Dice? That's kind of weird too. And then I realized that I'm in the psychologist's office getting diagnosed for schizophrenia. Okay, that last part was a joke. I don't even know if you heard it. I don't know. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was saying Dice. So basically, I got second place though because I got pitied and left there forever. But I got my butt kicked by that. I got destroyed in that game of Risk. It was something, alright. It was brutal, but it was fun. It was something. And then I downloaded Risk and I still play it. I like to think I'm pretty good at it. But who knows? I haven't really played against real people for a while. It would be fun to play against real people again. I don't know, this quarantine thing has been going on for so long that actually, like, one time I was I met up with somebody and I was about to give him a high five, and then we both stopped and we're like, "Oh yeah, we that's not a thing that we should be doing." And like it was kind of awkward, but it was like one of those like cliche TV moments. Like I could hear the laugh track from the sitcom. Uh, but yeah, silence, silence. Sorry, Alex. Alex must be like every time there's silence, he must be like slamming his head against the table in sadness. Shout out to Alex, man, for editing this stuff. Dude, like, go to Alex's workshop, drop a sub if you haven't already. I believe it's called Alex's workshop. Warp shop, yeah, warp shop. It's where you learn how to use teleportation. No, it's workshop. Like, link in the description, probably. I'll probably put his name on the screen too. I don't know what he's got in plan, but shout out to him. Uh, where was I? What was I doing? Oh yeah, birthday. Actually, sometimes I like am confused on why we celebrate birthdays. Cause it's like, congratulations, you made it a year. Like, okay, I'm alive a year. I'm also a year closer to not being alive, if you think about it that way. So why are we celebrating that? But then you're celebrating like we made it a year. But I mean, like, are we so self-important that we have to have a holiday for when we were like when we like born? I mean, I'm not complaining, but I want a day to celebrate me, because I mean, yeah. But I mean, think about it that way. It's just like, it's weird. It is weird. That word is also, like, I gotta stop saying words that are over and over again. But you know what? That's what I do. Welcome to this. Welcome to life. Welcome to times where we have fun. Time is also in a loop, forever going. Yes, I'm going back on tangents, but you know what? You can't stop me. I'm the one who makes the podcast. I'm the one who talks, so take that, person who hypothetically doesn't like me. I don't, I hypothetically don't like you either. Take that, burn. Now I'm talking to people in the future. I wonder what my future self would say to me right now if he saw me like doing this. He'd be like, would it be like, thing that you started this, or would it be like, you stupid, stupid child? Would it be a mixture of both? I'll never know until I'm in the future and look back on this and say it. Like, that's kind of weird too, is that, wouldn't it be weird to not remember things? I mean, obviously, we're gonna forget things as we go on, but things that seem so, like, important to us now, we might forget about in a few years. Like, who knows, maybe something I think is super important right now, like maybe like video games or music or some sort of thing like that. Maybe like I'll forget about it, or maybe like I'll forget about a certain game or doing something that I think that like I'm never gonna forget this. Like I just kind of find that interesting how how our memory is, because we like to think that we remember the most important things, but the most important things may change from time to time as we live throughout our life. So something that's important to you now might be different, and then you'll forget what you thought was important. However, you know that you're not going to forget is the embarrassing things, the embarrassing mistakes. I know that sometimes I made a lot of mistakes, and I admit that they are mistakes. I'm not going to go over and tell you all of them because they're kind of embarrassing and I'd like to keep them personal. But what I always do is I like to admit I'm wrong. I like to apologize. I like to figure out what I did wrong. Because if I know what I did wrong, then I won't do it again. And I feel like not everyone's like that, or they just don't try hard enough. But who knows? I don't know everyone. And I'm not going to say that I do. I make mistakes, and I look back on them every time, like once in a while. Like I'll just be thinking about it, and it'll pop in my head. And like really, what you have to do is you just gotta acknowledge it. You have to say like, yeah, I made this mistake, and like you gotta say, let's move on. Because what's like you made the mistake, you learned your lesson. There's not much else you can do about it, but just kind of live your life. But like remember that mistake, keep it with you, and so you won't do it again. Because if you're afraid of doing it again, you won't do it again. And that's another weird thing about time travel is a paradox sort of is like if you travel back in time and like made it so you never made a mistake, how would you ever know to begin with that you've made mistakes? Like how would you remember the mistakes that you made to fix so you might make them later on even if you didn't do it in that time? So you might learn them later down the line and cause more problems, more issues because you didn't learn your lesson the first time. But you went back and fixed because you went back and fixed them for whatever reason and you didn't learn your lesson. So that's why that exists, I guess. I don't know, time travel. I hate stories with time travel. I'm sorry. Back to the Future, you're okay. But you do have a plot hole that no one acknowledges, and it's really, really irritating. And I forgot it. Oh, I know. It's so Marty McFly goes back into the back right into the past, like right when he leaves. Like he goes back to the past the exact moment that he leaves. But the future changed. So my question is, why is he still there? Like, why does that situation exist? And also then is like what happened like if he goes into the past, actually here's the real thing is if he goes into the so Marty A, right, our good friend Marty, the one that we've watched the entire movie, goes into the past and changes the past for his parents to meet with Marty in there. He then goes back into the future, changing into creating an alternate universe. However, in that alternate universe, Marty McFly, also known as like something Gene, whatever his name was. I forget what his name was in the thing, but also known as Calvin Klein, exists in that past and then disappears. So what happens when the other Marty goes into the past with Calvin Klein existing in that alternate universe? Because he can't be Calvin Klein because that's Calvin Klein from a different thing, and nothing would have happened in the past unless he was there, and it just kind of makes your head explode. I don't even know if that makes any sense. Like, I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but it just doesn't like that. I hate that. It doesn't make any sense, and that's why I don't like time travel. It's because it's too easy to mess up. It's way too easy to mess up, and I don't like it being used because you can make life too easy for your characters. You can make life not exist at all for your characters, and it's a hard thing like where you have to set up actual parameters for your time travel beforehand before you mess around with it. Otherwise there's a lot of these unanswered questions about time where everything just like kind of doesn't make any sense and then you get a plot hole. But yeah, time is a complicated feature. Time is always moving, but at the same time, it's like how much events always occur in like the butterfly effect. Like events connect to other events, like a chain of dominoes, really, or one of those like a Newton's cradle. Like like you pick one and then like the energy like like goes into the other. Stuff like that. Like that's how our choices impact people. Is that like if I didn't say this thing, then maybe somebody else wouldn't have done this, and no one else would have done this. Like people touch people's lives, and people also touch people, but that's a different rant for another day. Follow Instagram, subscribe, like, comment why like it if you liked it, comment why it's bad if you didn't like it. Watch episode 1 if you haven't watched episode 1, and have a great day.